What's up? My name's Craig. I'm here with CS Farms. Anyways, so this is a little bit of an introduction. I'm just going to show you my property and what I plan on doing. Anyway, so it was a few months back. I was at a chicken auction. Really, it was just a livestock auction. There were chickens, and I bought some roosters. And then it kind of like started from there. And I was like, ooh, I should buy an incubator now that they're going to be everywhere. I want you to know. Now, I should buy an incubator now that I have a rooster. Bunch of roosters, honestly. Anyways, and it kind of just, chicken math took over. Anyway, so here I am. I spent last night and a little bit of this morning cleaning up behind my barn because now I'm going to have breeder pens. So you see how it just escalated really quickly. So I've had chickens for the past few years. Never did anything with it. Never really sold. I just gave people eggs and really threw some eggs away. But I've always had this barn back here. I haven't always. We just moved back out here and we're in a rural area and we have a little under 5 acres. And I feel like I'm not utilizing it the way that I would like to. Anyway, so I was like, you know what? I know that there were 14 million birds culled in like the last 30 days alone. And I'm like, I have a feeling the eggs are gonna get a little crazy. So I started my journey with chickens already. So I'll show you my barn. I kind of set it up a little better. So there were some stalls in there and I just surrounded the stalls and put in my water and roosting bars in each of the stalls, or at least a couple of them for now. And I bought some cheap Isa Browns and then some cheap Rhode Island Reds, and I'm slowly producing my own form of like a 3/4 Rhode Island Red production red. Anyway, so that's my plan for now. Those are going to be my laying hens. I'll show you my trailer. I have an old trailer that I thought about turning into like a portable coop type deal out in my pasture next to my house. But that's for a later date. I'll show you the other stuff that I bought on auction, which is my problem, is auctions actually. I bought some T111. I think I bought some metal roofing. But around me we have Amish so metal roofing pretty cheap. Yeah, but it started this way. And then I visited this lady that lives 15 miles away, and she had all these breeder pens, and she's telling me how she makes money on it. And she like took me into her garage, and she had this big grow out pen. So she had like a small brooder, like not a small 4x4 brooder, and then she had like the next size, which is for like your intermediate, and then she had the big ones before they go outside. Then she had a grow out pen outside. She had like hens for laying. She had a bunch of Rhode Island Reds. She had an old pen, so like the old Rhode Island Reds, to see which ones are producing and which ones aren't. Anyway, she had like the best setup. She was embarrassed of it, and it is the coolest setup I've ever seen. Like just the breeds, black copper Moran and like the splash Morans and all the Orpingtons you can imagine. And they were all beautiful and show quality. And I'm like, this is exactly what I would like to do. Like, this is the route that I would like to go. Granted, you gotta get there one of two ways. You either have to incubate and hatch your own eggs, which sourcing eggs is about terrible, but she's at least cheap. Or you have to buy them. So like I have a bunch of roosters. I've got some like New Hampshire Reds, some Rhode Island Reds, 5 Rhode Island Reds, 2 New Hampshire Reds. I thought this is my garage chicken. I've got a Plymouth Rock. I've got a Lavender Orpington. You can hear one of those New Hampshire Reds. And then I have one more. What is he? There's one more rooster. Anyways, it kind of started like this, and these were the breeds that I was originally going to go for. But then I got the most brilliant idea. I was going to like try for like to be able to sell all the colors of eggs. But then that same lady brought up that you would have to be able to sex them. And honestly, I don't have any interest in DNA sexing them. I'm just probably waiting until they get older, which I guess I still could do that, sell them as a package. But really, I'm just doing this for fun. I have a full-time job. My wife is actually a stay-at-home mom, so I plan on using her. But ignore this. It's kind of the middle of winter, and I've been working back here, but the wind is just absolutely brutal all the winter months, and I'm in the middle of a field, so we're just constantly getting hit with wind, which is why I think it's one of those, whenever I do build these pens, which I'll show you my plan, and I'm a doer, so it probably will be done in the next, week or two. Probably before I even post this, because I actually hate talking on cameras. But I posted a video of me cleaning up my barn, and it didn't do as well as I thought it would do. Well, probably because it's boring, honestly, and a little monotonous. But I'll show you my barn. I'm excited. So ignore how terrible this looks. This was completely covered in metal. I mean, completely covered in just junk and glass and trash. Anyways, you can see some of them. Those are, what are they? Prairie something. Prairie blue egger. I don't know what it is. Anyways, but this is where I plan on putting my breeder pins. It's just right through here. At least it's probably going to go to this tree for now. I might get rid of that tree. I might incorporate it into the actual building. I thought that would be kind of neat. I hate cutting down live trees. But it's the old tow pig. This is all, I just use it to pull boats. In my flat trailer. That honestly weighs way too much for not having trailer brakes. But this is I bought this trailer a few years ago when I was in school. I used to haul Amish. I used to do taxi work. Anyways, I put brand new tires. Like you can see, they are brand new. And then they went flat. And they've just kind of been sitting outside. So I thought about turning this into a chicken tractor type deal. Not a tractor, but like a portable egg mobile. I don't know what you want to call it. That'll be its own. But it's honestly the perfect size for like a little egg hut. And then I've got a tractor that I can move it around. But I'll show you the inside of the barn. Proper walk through the inside of the barn so you can see. All right. Here's a piece of wire to keep this shut. Okay. So in here, you walk in. This is my tack room. Just a general area. I keep all my feed. So these are just some of the things that I add into my mix. So I started mixing my own feed and then soaking it, which has turned out really well. The hens love it. You can see they absolutely enjoy the crap out of it. But this is my first breeder pen is right here. So there's actually 2 doors, 2 stalls. They're separated and they're just held closed by a little tiny latch. Anyways, not that deep. I love having water in here. This is going to be really nice. I already found out I love it. I'm so used to carrying water out here. Okay, so this is said Rhode Island Red, and these are my Ice Browns. And they love me. For some reason, they won't leave me alone. Ooh! I thought they already laid today. I thought all 5 of them laid. Ooh, it's warm. Okay. So I'll latch this. Not the best latch. I'm probably going to redo those. Those are terrible. This is my second breeder pen. Clearly not breeding anything in here. They're just Rhode Island Reds. I bought all these, including him over there. I had to pick out which one I wanted, honestly. I had to look up breed standard. Who really cares that much? But all my waters. This is the plan. I put those water nipples on 5-gallon buckets. But I've got this nice little walkway to where I can access everything. I need to still put a nesting box in here. So I still need to make a nesting box. I thought about making a nesting box and then just putting it right here so that I don't have to go freaking inside all the time. Or just put it right there just like the other one, which is kind of proven to be handy. My 2.5-year-old daughter loves it. Okay, so this is a little walkthrough. So this is where my chickens are now. This used to be the tack room. This was one stall. Oh, she's kind of squirrely. So this stall back here, ignore how terrible it is. It's just full of stuff. This is going to be, I thought about making it like a little grow up pen. It kind of makes me feel a little guilty that I'm going to have chickens inside their entire life. I kind of let mine run around free. Go on. So this is going to be another stall, another breeding pen. And there is a door right there. But I came in here and I just fashioned this chicken wire up and built some real quick doors out of, how do you call that? I split a 2x4 in half essentially and then framed all of this and framed my door right here. And this goes outside. But these are my roosting bars, and here's another room for some more roosting. And that's an old egg. I don't think you can see in there, but this is just where I feed them, and I have a gravity feeder. Then I have empty right now, just trying to get rid of everything in there, and I give them a couple scoops of feed a day, and they love it. But this is just my setup right here is to get into the loft. I thought about cleaning that out too. But this is my barn. And then I did make a video on this too. I made a video on what I did to mix. But I just feel like it's so boring whenever I try to describe it. Like my ratios of like corn to soybean meal to lime to sweet feed, which they love sweet feed. People say they can't taste sweet, but I don't believe that, honestly. But my whole plan is to, I'll just show you. They have tons of food in there. It's all over the place. They really like the black oil sunflower seeds. But they just love this. But as I say, I actually just got electricity in here and I bought these LED lights, which has make a world of a difference. Honestly, it looks so good in here. But I feel like we live in a world where everything is getting too expensive. Like I just went to Tractor Supply earlier and just chicks are $10 a chick, which feels excessive. And my whole plan is to just make a product, have birds that aren't that crazy expensive. That's my whole goal. I don't know. It sounds kind of stupid to go out of my way to make things cheaper. But I feel like with cheap birds comes more people. And with more people, then I can scale and hopefully change how everything looks. Like how the whole environment around chickens, because chickens are almost unobtainable. Like the cost to feed to the cost of waterers. You want a heated waterer. Like what I use are 5-gallon, I don't have one in here, but a 5-gallon bucket with those little freeze-proof water nipples. And then I buy these little cheap 50-watt fish tank heaters. And this will keep any 5-gallon bucket of water at like 60 degrees, even if it's negative 50 out. You know, as cold as it gets, you can just throw a lid on it. I swear these will keep it warm. But that's the biggest problem, is everything is so glamorized. I understand wanting to have chickens is like your pet. Also, you want eggs, but I want it to be able to where like the common folk can just have them. You know, it doesn't need to be that expensive. A chicken door doesn't need to be $100 when you can buy a $15 door on eBay. Granted, it's plastic and you have to build a frame, but to be fair, that's not that bad. But I'm gonna go to an auction this weekend, and hopefully I get some more breeds. Not hopefully, I'm pretty set. I'll spend about anything. No, but I also bought some cheap incubators. So I started one with Amazon, and I think I hatched 9 out of my 11 eggs that I had in there. And I looked at the other 2, and I think they drowned. I don't know. They were perfectly developed, which doesn't make any sense that they made it to the last day and then didn't survive. I think the other chicks moved them around. So then I bought a 42 egg incubator. I've got some quail eggs in there too that I bought at the same auction. Again, it's a problem. I have a problem with auctions. I think we all do if you're watching me. Anyway, so I have that 42 egg, which is weird. It has like a removable lid. I'll just show you those. But the eggs, they turn side to side. And then I bought a big 70 egg incubator, and it's a tray that shifts back and forth. But that one controls its own humidity and makes a big difference. But these are like my first incubators. And slowly, I don't know if I'll work up to a cabinet. I really thought about making my own because I'm like that. Like you can buy a cheap controller. If I made a video on it, you can buy a cheap controller on eBay. You can use 100-watt ceramic elements because they cool and they heat and cool slowly. So like you could turn it on and turn it off. And it would it's not like a light bulb where it gets hot and then nothing. Hot and then nothing. It would maintain its temperature and be pretty gradual. So I thought about doing that, but I haven't figured out how I would actually build it. Maybe a little mini fridge. I'm just rambling here. But these are my plans. I'd be really happy if you just join me and watch all of my progress. I'll show you my my materials that I bought at the auction. And I think that's it for right now. Thank you. Okay, just so you can see, the lean-to is filled with my boat. At least for now, I just have lumber everywhere. I bought a bunch of 2x4s and I got a bunch of these big 2x6s for free. And a jet ski and an old mower. You know how it is. Eventually that'll be gone. And this, I got this at the same auction for $1. So I just bought all this metal. This is 11 sheets. I think they're 7 feet long. That looks terrible. They don't normally look that bad. These are all the half sheets and crappy sheets. But it's all T111. And there's like 7 full sheets and a bunch of half sheets. But this is the beginning. Again, ignore all my mess. I'm slowly picking it up. And I've got a gutter. But this is some vinyl that I thought about also using. Just mainly to block the wind, really. Because the wind out here is just wicked. You can hear it right now. But these are my stuff that I'm going to build with first, at least. And I think I'm going to stack these guys back to back. I think it's going to be 14 feet long. And I might go ahead and order some more. It's pretty cheap around me. Not this cheap. These are $5 a sheet. And this stuff was not, I didn't pay for the half sheets. The guy gave it to me for free. And she's up there just upset. Anyways, but the other sheets, I think I paid also $5 for those. So at the end of it, you know, it'll work out. I'm going to make a bunch of like small chicken coop type deals that I can have on the outside with hinges so that I can get into it from the outside. But, you know, with time. Some more random junk. I bought this tote at that same auction, $2. I mean, this is like every Saturday. I bought a bunch of these rolls. I think they're, 6 feet by 150 feet? Which is actually, oh wait, no, they're 5 feet. 60 inches by 150 feet. But really, this is what I plan on making my fins out in said field. I own almost over there to that house, which used to also be part of this farm. And this is my tractor. This is my Alice Chalmers. I thought it was a WD-45. It is not. It is just a WD. But I love this thing. It does not fail me. Literally ever. But this is what I plan on moving that chicken coop with.